Have you ever been in the situation where you've been trading, your sales are up, you think like you are going great guns, and then when you look at your bank account, you realize that you've actually got no cash left. You ran out of money. Where the fuck has all the money gone? This is such a common situation that retail business owners come across. And today I want to run through with you the 11 things to do now in your retail business if you're running out of money. But before I do that, welcome. My name is Alvin. I am the retail business coach that helps retailers improve their cash flow and profitability, thereby allowing them to create more time and freedom for themselves, and consequently, believe it or not, a far more successful retail business that runs without them. So I would love it before we launch into these 11 quick tips that you need to do to figure out why your business is running out of money. I would love it if you could smash that like button and subscribe to the channel as well. So let me run through the reasons why you're probably getting to this stage. So you probably Googled in why am I running out of money, and especially in my retail business. And there's a few reasons why this can happen. The first reason is more than likely is you're growing too quickly. So it sounds really counterintuitive, right? If your retail business is growing, shouldn't I have more cash in the bank? But believe it or not, if you're growing rapidly, quite a lot of the funds that you bank that come into your business, if you're not careful enough, automatically gets gobbled up by the business. And when I mean gobbled up, I mean that it automatically gets you reused into investing in more stock, into investing in personnel, buying new equipment and things like that. So if you're not careful enough, your money can quickly disappear at the end of into the ether, basically, that should be your bank account. So the other reason that you could be all of a sudden finding that you're running out of cash is you've probably accidentally made a large purchase somewhere along the line, and that sort of drained all your funds. So be mindful of that. If you've made a really big capital expenditure, that's what's going to do it to you. The next thing is probably your financing rates have gone up, and if you've been slow off the mark to renegotiate or to look into it, that's another place where your funds are going to get sucked up, your cash is going to get sucked up. Another thing to consider why you're running out of money is perhaps, and this happens quite a lot in retail land, is you're over purchasing. So you have no systems in place and to curb the purchasing that's going on. So somebody's just sort of buying things willy-nilly without respect to the basic things in retail, right? Like without respect to inventory management, your free day periods in terms of your trading terms and how often you can order for, how much stock to order, what your stock turn is, all those fun retail things. Whoever's doing the ordering, hopefully it's not you, but whoever's doing the ordering is sort of getting caught up in this cycle of over ordering, and your retail business is sucking it up in terms of the cash. Um, you may also have had an unexpected tax bill. So you've got unexpected tax money that you need to pay. And all of a sudden, because you didn't prepare for it properly, that gets sucked out of your bank account as well. And then your businesses basically run out of money. So you probably find yourself in some of those situations, maybe before. And so let me walk you through 11 things to do now to quickly get you out of this hole and ensure that you can trade properly. And the main thing is to make sure that it doesn't happen again. So let me run through these. Let me run through these things right now. So if your business is running out of money, here are 11 things that you need to do right now. First of all is raise your prices. So counterintuitive, right? But this is now the time to review your suite of products and services in your retail store and raise your margins intelligently, and thereby raising your prices intelligently. So this really scares a lot of retail business owners because we don't want to increase our prices, or we're really scared on how to go about increasing our prices. Perhaps we don't want to scare off our current clientele, and maybe we just don't really know how to do it. So that's something you need to investigate. But number one is you need to raise your prices. And remember, this will help you, in a couple of weeks' time to start to recoup some of that cash and try and, ensure that you're not running out of cash. The next thing is quite obvious, but as retailers, we tend to put it away. So when it comes to this time, we really need to start looking at all our expenses, grab your profit and loss statement, go through line by line on what and try and figure out where all the money is going in your business. What unnecessary expenses do we have? What can we chop off? What can we do without? Who can we start to, which suppliers that we can start to talk to renegotiate? And I'll touch on suppliers in a moment as well. Delay payments. So you need to enter into a dialogue with your suppliers, right? And say, hey, I'm having a little bit of a tough time. Can you help me delay my payments? Can I pay you a little bit later on? And you will be surprised, just from asking the question, you will be able to, most suppliers will, if you've been trading with them for a sufficient amount of time, most suppliers will allow you to do this. So delaying payments is a really good strategy. Next thing, if people owe you money, so for instance, if you have customer accounts and people need to pay you, tighten that up so you get paid sooner. So it's simply a matter of calling the people that owe you money and telling them like, hey, cash is short this month. Can you please pay, your account a lot sooner? And also on the account, it's a good idea to tighten up the terms. So most people want to be paid, typically 30 days. There's no reason why, as a business owner, we can't change those terms to 7 days or pay up front, right? Making sure that we can get the money up front by allowing us as a retail business to take credit cards or any other payment forms that's going to put the cash in our bank account is going to be so much easier. So work on that. Number 5, let's focus on some small changes that will have a big impact in our business. So depending on your retail business, this could be a few things, but some of the quick wins that come to mind would be to focus, get you and your team to focus on your average dollar sale, because increasing your average dollar sale doesn't cost you any money in marketing. It doesn't cost you much money in sort of expenses, so to speak, but it's a really quick, surefire way to flush your bank account with cash and increase your cash flow because your team are now selling more, and it's going to be so much better for you. Number 6, seek funding. So this is where we need to be intelligent about it. You can go to the market and secure some funding. But the question here is to make sure that you find, you seek help. I think as retail business owners, sometimes we are a little bit reluctant in seeking help in terms of funding. So talk to your banker, talk to third-party people. There's factoring. There's all sorts of creative financing solutions that you could use. One option is also to use your credit card or to get a credit card because, while you're going through this tight period, that's extra funds that you can get really cheaply, only if you manage it correctly with all these extra funding. So seek extra funding. Like I said, let's go back to negotiating. So you can negotiate with your suppliers on better trading terms. So trading terms is, when you need to pay your bill, and if you can extend that, that will help your cash flow. If you can negotiate higher discounts, that is also very favorable for you. And all these little percentage plays will start to kick in. Negotiate with your utilities providers. And now's the time to go out to the market and have a look. Negotiate with your bank. There's so many areas of your business that we've probably neglected because we're too busy running the day-to-day of our store that need to, you can now start to go in and negotiate it with the suppliers. Number 8, let's start to have some key performance indicators. Start to have some KPIs in our retail business so this doesn't happen again. KPIs are really important because it goes along what gets tracked and measured gets managed. So ensuring that you have really good KPIs relevant to your retail business is going to minimize the chance that this will happen again. And once you start recording and measuring, you will find that your business, with just your acuity, you'll naturally get out of this cash flow crunch. Number 9. So we're talking about running out of cash. So what we need to do now is to make sure that we start to track our cash flow. So make sure you have a way of doing that. And also to avoid having this incident in the future, we need to start forecasting our cash flows. You need to start doing that. Number 10 is inventory management. I started to touch on this before, making sure that we are really on point with our inventory ordering, making sure that whoever's doing the ordering, they're not ordering too much. They're taking up supplier deals within reason, making sure we're not carrying 3 months worth of stock, making sure we've got the right point of sale ordering system in stock, that we're using. So those are some of the key things that you need to figure out, and that will allow you to basically get out of this cash flow crunch. The other thing there as well, while you're running out of cash, is a good way to get rid of excess stock. while you're going through this period, just really clean up the back house, right? And number 11 is get help. It's always really important that when you go through this period, it can get very stressful. It can get very lonely when you're going through this. So, get a coach, consultant, get a mentor, get somebody to help you out during this period. You don't have to do it alone. Cool. So there were some 11 tips there that you can use in your retail business. So if you're trying to figure out why your retail business is running out of money, if you start implementing those 11 things right now, you will find that you'll get out of this cash flow situation. But I'd love to know, one, what other strategies have you tried to get out of a cash flow situation? What strategies have you employed before when your business was running out of money? Pop them into the comments section below. Cool. All right. Until next time, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you again. Thank you so much for watching.